Well, hello and good morning. This is your daily for July 25th, 2019. So for today, the message that comes first from heaven is that I met a lot of people along the way, and that they're now with their families. So for those of you who have lost a loved one recently, this message is for you, that they are okay, they are not in pain, and that they had family bring them to their destination. First and foremost, I'd like to start off with fire signs. That would be Aries, Leo, and Sag. Fire signs. For today, it feels like things might be a little complicated for you today. Today, when we speak about different things that go on for fire signs, it could be that you may be giving up on a situation. It also could be that things have gotten a little rough lately. So fire signs, whatever's going on with you, the first card that came up for you guys is the Eight of Swords. With the Eight of Swords, it's talking about feeling imprisonment, entrapment. It also feels like, here with the Eight of Swords, it does feel like there is a woman, she's tied up, obviously, right, and blindfolded. And, of course, the Eight Swords are placed strategically around her, which restricts her movement, so to speak. It's kind of like having a fence up, right? She feels like she's kind of trapped or in jail. However, it seems as though whoever built this trap was pretty lazy and hasty, because they left some space. You see, they left some space in between the swords, as well as the wrapping around her isn't very tight at all, and the blindfold is very loose. But she has, the woman, she feels like she has no way to get out. She can't find her way out, which is definitely preventing this woman from seeing her way through. The barren land around her might signify a lack of creativity of some sort, while the gray sky in the background can signify despair, since there she feels that there is no hope of her breaking free. This could be somebody breaking free of addiction, breaking free of something that is toxic, a relationship, breaking free from yourself, so to speak. It also feels like, as far as this is concerned, if only she could take this blindfold off, she would see that she could simply just walk out of this situation. But for some reason, she's feeling like there is no end to it. For those of you, again, who are suffering with recovery or addiction, struggling through recovery, I should say, or struggling with addiction, it always feels like there's no way out. But there most definitely is. It is. It's following your steps and doing the work to maintain that. The general meaning of the Eight of Swords is that one is feeling, again, being trapped or victimized in a certain way. Also, you may feel powerless, fire signs, because in your mind you feel that changing the situation might be beyond your control. It feels like there's nothing left that you can do. You're definitely feeling hopeless or helpless in this situation. But the truth of the matter is, there is a way out. You just have to be willing to surrender your power, surrender your energy to your highest power, so to speak. Whether that's God, whether that's fate, whether that's your spirits, whether that's whatever religion you are, it doesn't matter. You surrender something over, and that will definitely help. You have to give away your own personal responsibility in order to expect change. Okay? So that's really important for fire signs today. For fire signs too, when you get the reversal, because for some of you, the reversal of the Eight of Swords is definitely effective, which means it could be a good sign. Okay, so again, this card could go either way. So because when I pulled this card out, it kind of fell sideways. So for some of you, this could be the reversal of the Eight of Swords, which is a good sign. It shows maturity. It shows self-acceptance. And it shows recognition of one's own power. It also shows responsibility, especially after a very long, drawn-out struggle. So it means that one is capable of making conscious decisions now, because you're very confident, or they're very confident, whoever this is for, in their power to change, or to have a change affect both of themselves in this world. And it feels like you're definitely making room for something new, fire signs. So that's what I get here. All right. Next, I have air signs: Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And with air signs, well, this could be a little touchy for air signs, because air signs, I have the Three of Cups. And what the Three of Cups talks about air signs is, yes, it could be a third-party situation. It usually can be. Doesn't have to be, but it definitely can be a little bit challenging when we have to deal with the Three of Cups. But I do feel like there is also friendship or community or happiness that could deal with this card. Doesn't always have to mean the worst. And again, this card in reversal, for some of you, would be overindulgence, okay, of something, too much of something, whether that's sex, whether it's alcohol, whether it's drugs. Also gossip or isolation, somebody playing the hermit, okay? So it definitely could mean that as well. Now, with the Three of Cups tarot card itself, when you draw the Three of Cups, you will see that the women, three of them, lifting up their cups in some type of celebration of sort, or having good times, or just celebrating their freedom. It also is flowers made around in their hair, and all that associates with a victory, happiness, something that's well-deserved. Okay, the ladies are also standing, as you can see. They are standing in their, with their cups raised, so to speak. And it feels like, it's just very happiness, a lot of joy, a lot of beauty, growth, compassion, that these women are sharing between each other as well. They all have a common ground or common element that they are celebrating. An interesting note for this is that the middle woman is kind of turned away from the reader, and her face is hidden from view. However, the two other maidens seem like they're smiling. So why is one turned away from me? Why is that? Why is one turned away? And that's what it says in the Rider Tarot deck, right? So the three maidens represent a circle of friends that you have. Okay, air signs? It also is people that you turn to for love, acceptance, approval, or direction sometimes. I also feel like they give you the support that you need when you need it the most, so to speak. But you have shared a bond with these people, so you know who they are. If you had problems in your social life, the card can signify the end of those hardships. So this card can also speak loud, saying, guess what? All that struggling that you did, air signs, all the work that you've put in, it's been a long, hard road that you've been trying to resolve an issue or get someone to flip to the other side, get somebody to give up that third party, to get somebody to finally come towards you with love, respect, honesty, and loyalty. You've worked so hard to get it. Some of you have exhausted yourself. Some of you have nothing left to give. Some of you have just decided to realize that, you know what, I just can't. I really just can't anymore. And that's probably the best place that you could be right now. For a lot of you with this Three of Cups, it could mean, on the reversal side, I'm going to say on the reversal side, that you have no time to socialize or go out with friends. Right now, you're working really hard to make up for something. You may be trying to work two jobs. You may be trying to get money put to the side. You may be trying to do a lot of things that you have struggled to get through in the past. Maybe somebody had created a setback for you. Maybe somebody, you had put in so much out to somebody else that you lost everything you had waiting for them. Maybe a lot of you have went through depression and social anxiety, and at this point you're just keeping it to yourself. So you're doing quite the opposite of celebrating. Right now, some of you are still feeling that pain, that loss, that heartache from a situation, air signs. All right, next I have water signs. Water signs. So for water signs, The biggest deal for you guys today feels like water signs. You're trying to still get something back, maybe that you lost in the past, or you're still trying to figure out how to get something off the ground. It also feels like for water signs, there can be, I want to say, opportunities. Yes, there could be opportunities. There also could be challenges, but at the same time, there's going to be rewards. Rewards for water signs. Water signs might be with air signs as well, but there's going to be rewards. Okay, rewards, because when I got the Hierophant card for you, and that's what water signs got today, is the Hierophant card. So when I got the Hierophant card, it's a religious figure. It sits rather in a formal environment. You know, it kind of looks like it's fancy on the throne, like a king type of thing. But, you know, the right hand is properly raised in an act of benediction, a sign of a blessing, right? So the right hand looks like it's trying to do a blessing. When, well, but, you know, this guy's carrying, you know, a triple cross. And with the triple cross, that's almost like a sign of, you know, a tradition that's done through, you know, religion. Kind of like an act of benediction is what it looks like. So, you know, it's kind of strange, but each cross is associated with traditionally with the Pope. Each of the horizontal bars in the cross thought to represent the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, and beneath him his two acolytes are seated, representing the transfer of sacred knowledge within the institution. Through these acolytes, the card also comes to represent the following path to knowledge and education. Very important. Very important. So what does this mean for you? This card is also known as the High Priest in certain decks, as well as the Pope. He acts very masculine. His counterpart of another card, which was known as the High Priestess, this card is ruled by Taurus. Okay? Know that. This card is ruled by Taurus. In the upright, the Hierophant is a reading to embrace the conventional, for it suggests that you have a certain desire that actually follows a process which has been well established, okay? It's also that you want to stay with certain conventional bounds of what could be considered even unorthodox or considered unorthodox, depending on your situation. But instead of being innovative, you will definitely be adapting to certain beliefs and systems which are already put in place, that are already currently existing. The Hierophant card suggests that it's better for you to follow social structure which are established and have their own traditions, okay? So that is for you, water signs. It also feels like there's a card here. It's showing that you need to conform. Maybe you need to get back into your religious beliefs. Maybe you need to get back into the church. Maybe you need to start praying on things. Maybe you need to start keeping it real. Or maybe your partner does, whoever this is for. I feel like part of you are feeling restricted and maybe even constrained from too many structures and rules. But at the same time, as a result, you have lost quite a lot of control as well as flexibility in your life. So a lot of things that you thought you were controlling, a lot of people that you thought you could control, you kind of found out that you can't. You can't control anybody else but yourself. This is mostly a card that has to do with questioning certain traditions or making sure that whatever it is that you do the right thing is for you in that certain moment, in that particular moment. A lot of you are trying to always please other people. A lot of you are definitely always focusing on others. It is time to take care of you. This card is a very big indicator that you need to get yourself back into place, so to speak. You need to get yourself back into place. It also feels like a lot of you are reaching for your core values. A lot of you, for instance, especially when it comes to tarot reading, this card is commonly representative of your institutions as well as Again, your morals, your values, things of that nature. I also feel like, the rules that are already existing for you, water signs, whether it's stay back, stay away, leave me alone, mind your business, don't get involved, stay out of third parties, whatever the rules are, it's really important to follow them. Really important right now to follow them, okay? Don't try to overdo something. Don't try to outsmart yourself. Don't try to outsmart anybody else either. Right now, today's not a good day for that. So that's the warning sign for water signs. Don't try to outsmart yourself. And again, water signs are Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. So last but not least, I have earth signs to do. With earth signs, it feels really strong for you guys. Either you're trying to get away from something, or you are asking somebody to take you away from something. At the same time, it could be finally seeing just where you belong or what it is that you want to do. Because the card that came up for you guys is, in fact, the Six of Swords. And with the Six of Swords, that is a card that stands for transition, leaving something behind, moving on. Now, in the reversal for this, for those of you who feel that that doesn't apply, maybe it's the opposite of it, because either way this card can go. Emotional baggage, unresolved issues, or resisting transition, resisting change. Somebody's really fighting hard not to do the right thing. Somebody's really fighting hard to avoid the guilt of even a third-party situation. So be aware of that, okay? Somebody doesn't want to own pretty much their own shit, what happened. But what I got for the Six of Swords is, if you look closely here at the Six of Swords, a woman and a child in a boat being rowed in the water to land, which is on the other side. The woman and the child are leaving something behind as their backs are faced toward us. So they don't want to see anything anymore. They're trying not to see something. Some of this means that a woman and a child, maybe you and your child, have been through enough struggles and heartache. And maybe there was domestic violence. Maybe there were situations going on for you guys that you just don't want to see it anymore. You don't want to look at it. You don't want to remember it. It's a big nightmare that you're walking away from. Somebody may have been very controlling, okay, or very narcissistic as well. But you can assume that because of this, the undergoing great loss of sadness is here as well, because somebody's having to pick up and take everything and just go, which is really hard for you guys. With the Six of Swords, you're definitely moving toward a future that looks much more promising than the one that you left behind. So in a way, this card is a blessing, because you are now getting away from all that bullshit. You're now getting away from it. The Six Swords that are along the side of the boat symbolize the strong power of the rational mind compared to intuition and the heart. So them swords are showing the strength that this woman had to pick herself up and get out of a situation. Maybe you don't have a child. Maybe this is your friend who you confided in. Maybe you got out of a situation that you knew was toxic and no good for you. Maybe somebody continued to hurt you and lie to you or cheat on you. Maybe this is why you needed to just finally say, you know what, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. Life is filled with these moments when you're going to be forced into letting go of things that you have become so attached to or so used to, even if it's negative, even if it was bad for you, even if it was hurtful. But remember that pain will not last. The pain won't last. The memory will, but the pain won't last. And that you should look instead to the future, where there's nothing better than beauty, strength, and freedom. And that's coming for you, okay? That is coming towards you. There may be times that the only way to fix a problem is to leave it and move to start anew. You may feel like this is a coward's way out. You may feel like you're giving up on something. You may feel guilty, feeling like you didn't give it another try. But it's only the approach that is left when you have tried all other methods. The important part is to plot your new course that will lead you to happiness. The Six of Swords in this case is to plan using your logic, objectivities, and about where you are now, where you have been, and where you are going. It's very important with this card, the Six of Swords. It is very important, but you need to think logically to ensure your success, your freedom, your happiness, because the only person that is responsible for your happiness is you. So, with that being said, and then again, that was Earth signs for Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So with that being said, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Tomorrow will be July 26th, and I will see you then for the daily. But right now, I'm going to set up to do Q&As, okay? $25, one question.